So we have a different approach here for this next thing. Greg is going to do a solo review of Cha Cha Real Smooth, a Sundance winner on Apple TV Plus, starring Dakota Johnson and Cooper Raiff. I'm going to turn my mic off. That's how serious this is going to be.
Whoa.
So have at it, boss.
All right. So I had a written review, written explanation what the movie is, but the Netflix one is similar to what I have. So it's just going to be easier to read this. So fresh out of college, without a clear life path going forward, 22-year-old Andrew is stuck back at home with his family in New Jersey. But if there's one thing that belongs on his non-existent resume, it's how to get a party started, which lands him the perfect job, motivational dancing at the bar and bat mitzvahs for his younger brother's classmates. When Andrew befriends a local mom, Domino, and her daughter, Lola, he discovers a future he wants, even if it might not be his own. Cooper Raiff writes, directs, and stars alongside Dakota Johnson, Brad Garrett, Leslie Mann, and newcomers Vanessa Burgart and Evan Assan in this tale of unconventional love that brims with emotional honesty. So Cooper Raiff plays Andrew, and like it says, fresh out of college. The thing I will say about that is that Andrew is 27 and is bearded. So when I was fresh out of college, I looked like I was 13. And I had people come up to me literally when I was working at the newspaper and say, "Are you writing for the high school newspaper? That's cute." So that was a little tough for me to like deal with. I think he maybe should have shaved his beard or something. His acting is a little off, but the thing that I will say that I really, really enjoy about this movie is I think Dakota Johnson is an absolute star. I watched her in The Lost Daughter, and that was a movie Olivia Colman was nominated for. Elena Ferrante, one of my favorite art authors, wrote that book. I feel like, this sounds weird, but I feel like she kind of lost her time with doing doing movies that necessarily appeal to like other people. And then she came back and she's doing movies that kind of have more of like a sentimental feeling. And when you go from those gray movies to doing something like this is a totally different switch. I really think that she is a terrific actress. She carried this movie for me. She is the emotional part of it. She's the sensical part of it, because she, I think in real life is 33 or 34. And I think that's the character age that she's actually playing in this movie. It's never mentioned, but you know that she's older than Andrew. And then her daughter, who has autism, is very cool. And Andrew helps break her out of this shell where she gets on the dance floor. And the one thing, and Brenton would know this, I know he's not chiming in with the mic, but I wish that I could have been paid to help people dance at parties at that age, because that was my thing. If I was going to a wedding or anything, I was ready to just hit the dance floor and get people going. I remember trying to go to I remember going to a wedding in Pittsburgh with my friend Carrie, and Matt Adams, who's been on this show, was there with me. And I was trying to get everybody on the dance floor. It was rough. It was weird seeing people, our age, 23, 24, not jumping out on the dance floor. And that was like, man, I wish I could have got paid to do that. So I really enjoyed the plot line. Obviously, Leslie Mann is always great. I mean, there's just always something she brings. Brad Garrett as stepdad Greg, which I enjoyed that because there's a lot of lines that say Greg. And I always hope that other people watch these movies and then present those lines to me. Like, I have nipples, Greg, can you milk me? And so something I've always enjoyed was something where my name is mentioned. Brent doesn't really have that because he's a Brent where he has to always be on. So, but
people can't get my name right. They can't get it right. It's terrible.
To digress about this movie, it does start out with him, doing this, and he meets Dakota Johnson's character, Domino, and he finds out that she's actually engaged. And Andrew has a really good relationship with Domino and with Lola, the daughter. Really nice relationship. I mean, there's parts where it becomes more than just friends, but you never really feel like it should. And she makes sure that it doesn't. And then the fiance gets involved, and there's a little bit of, a bustle back and forth, but it's nothing crazy. yet what ends up happening is, I think what is real life stuff, jumping into spoilers, is that she's like, you are young and you need to live your 20s. I didn't get to do that because I had Lola, and Lola is a teenager at this point in this movie. And it's like, you need to enjoy your 20s. You need to have this. I'm getting married. And her initial husband, who she had Lola with, left. He just left the scene, and she goes through some other things. And I think that was the thing that kind of made this movie, I think, good to me, and the storyline good. It was sometimes the best things that happen to you. You sometimes meet people for their, the right reasons, even if they're not the right people for you in this life. He talks about soulmates and things like this. Andrew does. And I think Domino was a soulmate for him, in a sense of like, she had to guide him on a different path. It wasn't for her to be in this. So for me, it held up really well. I think Dakota Johnson stole the show in this movie. I just think she's great. I really do. I think she has a good presence. She's a great actress. And then having Leslie Mann as a side character, having Brad Garrett as a side character, is a great fight scene with kids and the parents. And it's just really funny. This movie definitely weighs more funny than heavy, and then kind of balances itself out at the end. I would personally give this movie probably a 7, just straight up 7. There are definitely flaws in this movie, but I think because Dakota Johnson's so strong in this movie, and because I think the storyline was so well done, it really holds up well for me. Cooper Raiff, I've heard things about him being like the next big thing in directing and whatever. He probably wants to stay more behind the camera than in front of it. His acting's not great, and that could be because she was just so good in this movie. But I think if he went more behind the scenes and less in front, it'd be better for him. So that's my review. I think people should check it out. I definitely, have a recommendation. It's a fun movie. If you like dance scenes, if you just like a little fun, I really can't recommend it enough on that end. It's not the greatest thing ever, but it is a fun movie, and it's a short movie too. It's an hour and 47 minutes. So it's still something you can fit in, and you can pretty much watch with most of your family. It says rated R, but I think you can watch that with your teenagers.